Frank, Finn, thanks a lot for coming on. This is the first time we've done a three-way, so you want to introduce?
This is wrong in some
one
way.
to five. Who are you?
So I'm Frank. I moved to Australia 27 years ago, and I started in the public industry, I don't know, 18 years ago. And yeah, we both do NDT, non-destructive testing. So we inspect welds before they go in production. And that's what we do. We say yay or nay.
Yeah. I'm Finn. I've worked with Frank quite a bit. I'm from Inverness. I was working for a small company there, and they got bought over by a bigger company. And they just said to me one day, "Can you go offshore?" I said, "I heard they pay good money, so yeah, I'll do it."
And the rest is history.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you wrote a book together after. Well, first things, how did you guys end up meeting?
Edinburgh, was it?
Yeah, I think yeah. No, yeah, in Leith. Was it Leith?
Yeah, Leith. They were building just double joints for a project offshore. I just moved to Stanley because I lived in Edinburgh at the time. I just bought a flat in Leith. So I asked them, I said, it's like literally a 2-minute bike ride for me. Can I have a job? And the guy was like, you can have a job. And yeah, started working with Frank there before the project went offshore.
How long ago was that?
That was first year COVID, wasn't it?
Yes, I think because yeah, that's right. I was working in Brazil and flew there. Rather than going home, I flew directly into Edinburgh, and COVID just sort of started. Yes, yeah. And I felt really sick the first week. I was really crook, whether it was COVID or AIDS, I don't know.
So the book, that's why you're on here.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm off shift. Where did that come about?
Well, that I have to tell that story. It's in the book, of course. If you want to know the whole story, you better buy it and read it. It's basically, it started. I was working in the Middle East. The first job I did offshore was in Saudi Arabia, and there was a lot of untrained and unskilled workers, and they all, some of them just came from university, high school, or wherever they came from. Never worked in a work environment whatsoever, and then go straight offshore. And so PPE is the most important thing out there, of course. And this guy, he worked all day, and after 12-hour shift, he wanted to catch up with his mates who were in the opposite shift, and he walked over the whole deck on a floating platform with 500-ton cranes and pipelines swinging overhead and trip hazards everywhere. And he walked into our container, which is right on the deck, at 11 o'clock at night in his pajamas, like over the whole work construction. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" "Oh no, Mr. Frank, it's okay. I'm off shift."
Yeah. We had a really good laugh about that. This is one of the many stories we were telling at the time. I think it was actually Tanif's idea, was it not? We were working with a guy called Tanif, Romanian lad. And like he said, you guys should write these stories down. And we kind of just thought, yeah, we should.
Do it.
There's another story about the place I'm working at now. So obviously that's like what kickstarted it, because like this guy is so stupid. There's a bit of a problem. One of the guys we're working with now, and he's one of these guys who's always said, get your PPE on, like there's no work going on. You're standing there chewing your glasses, your safety glasses or something. He goes, glasses. He was that kind of guy. Just wants to have a go at you. And he's always having a go at one guy in particular. He's always PPE earbuds, when it's quiet. If it's work, fair enough. I totally get it. It's just a little workshop we're working at. And there was one guy came the other day in his backpack, shorts, t-shirt. And he came and spoke to him. And the guy I'm working with said, what about him? He said, no, it's okay. He's going home. Like, he's going home for the day. I was like, that's just retarded. It's like, you're going home. A grain just not going to fly off into your eye.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt this show, and I really hope you're enjoying it. One thing I'm going to ask you, if you're listening to it and you're not liking, following or subscribing to it, could I ask a massive favour that you do? It really helps the show, it helps me bring in more people, and it helps me get more stories out there, which in favour brings more stories back in. Let's get back to it. Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm with you on that. It's actually one of those things actually on vessels. Sometimes you find that for some strange reason, when it comes to after shift, boys just walk across the vessel with a hard hat on or something like that just to go off deck. But then there's like carnage going. Everyone's got PPE on and stuff like that. Oh no, I'm just going off the vessel, lads. I'm just going to the pub or something like that. Yeah. So I know exactly where you're coming from on that.
Get it.
Have you been collecting these stories for a while?
Yeah.
Only quite a while.
you remember them from people telling you. Look, most of the stories, we of course we encounter them ourselves. But I think we were working on the Nord Stream pipeline together. We thought, you know what, we should start writing them down. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few stories. I like the ones that are both like come from us, like this is my experience, because you can just tell it exactly how it is. There's a lot of stories as well that you hear. That's like sometimes you get someone's mate is telling you a story, so it's like this is what happened to my mate. His mate's already told him the story and like egged it up a little bit. Then he's telling it to us to egg up a little bit, and then we write it down. I'm like, I'm gonna put a bit extra in just to make it a bit louder. So it's like might get a little bit outside some of the stories. Yeah, it's still just fun.
I worked with a guy who worked with the boy that wrote "Don't Tell Mom I Work on the Rigs" on a piano player at the whorehouse. Yeah, so he worked with one of them. He worked with him. Sorry. Apparently he's an amazing storyteller, but he did actually confess to a few of the lads that a lot of the stories aren't his. He's kind of taken them on, egged them up, and put them in his book, kind of, so to speak. Like, so you're not the only one doing it.
Yeah, no, but I think we're open and honest. I'm not saying this has all happened to us, but these are just stories that we find funny, and some of them have been unbelievable, and people have sworn to be true, and so on. I've never read that book. Don't tell my mum.
It's actually good.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. It's quite funny. Like,
I didn't want to read it before I wrote mine. I didn't want to influence it too much because it's a similar idea, obviously. Obviously, now our book's out, I might go and read it, but that might lead to a bit of depression. Like, oh fuck, this guy's way better.
Should I use this? Yeah. What does your job entail? Because obviously, the oil industry's massive. There's loads of different things going on, whether it's drilling, production, subsea work, etc. But what do you guys actually do for those that might not have a clue what happens with regards to pipelines and NDT?
Well, what we do after the pipeline has been welded, it gets cleaned and cooled down a little bit, and we test it. So we look inside the weld for integrity, and we have like an acceptance criteria, and we apply whatever we find with acceptance criteria. Then we decide whether this pipe or this weld is acceptable or needs repair or needs to be cut out, and we done. That's what we do.
It's a pretty
non-destructive
basic process. It's just floating factories. Like they get the pipe made, they weld it together, they check it, they coat it, put it in the sea. And if you're working 12 weeks offshore, it can be pretty brutal, especially if you're a scanner tech, because it's just the pipe comes in, the bell rings, the ship moves forwards, the pipe goes out the back. We test the weld, say it's good. Like most of the time, once they're set up and in a good flow, the welds are good. And so it's just constant work.
How quickly are you doing this though?
Depends on the size of the pipelines.
Right.
It's different when you're working on a landline. So I think Frank set the record for one of the most welds tested or something. I've worked on jobs where they pull the bell every 3 minutes. And then I think I've worked on jobs where it's like, I've done one job where it's like a JLA. So it's like they curl the pipe up, and that's like one weld every 2 days or something. So that's like a really easy job. But yeah, either 3 minutes non-stop for 12 hours or up to 10, 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, and
It's different between...
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, no, go on, Frank.
As you said, the repair is pretty low. Normally it's between 1% and 3%. That means most of the time the welds are pretty good because they lose money. So they try to, of course, to make it as good as they can. So it gets really repetitive and boring, and a lot of time for horseplay and stupid things.
What do you think is different between that kind of life and maybe platforms, rigs, etc., or drilling rigs, etc.?
I've never been on a platform on a rig, so I don't know. But the big difference is a rig is permanent. Normally people go there for years and years to the same thing because they just keep on, getting all off the ground. For us, it's like you go there on a pipeline and you see light in a tunnel. Like the pipe is 80 kilometers long, it's 800 kilometers long. So you're working towards dead end. You said, yeah, done. Looking for the next project.
I think one of the biggest differences you posted on your page recently, Joe, a picture of people floating around like the tea cabin and so on an offshore platform.
Yeah, right.
So there's
that's to come down to mixed reviews. That one, like
in the North Sea, there is a few people trying to look busy. You know what I mean? That if there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. Whereas for us, if we go offshore and the pipeline's moving, you're busy. You can't you can't fake it. You're full on. And if the pipeline, if there's bad weather, something to put down, you can watch movies. You don't need to hide it, unless there's stuff to do, repairs or whatever. So that's probably the main difference. Is there's no, when you're busy, you're busy.
Yeah, I suppose so. And I take it like 5-minute lunches and all that kind of stuff, is it, or do they just get brought out to you?
I've had lunch on a little silver tray before, yeah. When you can't get away from the workstations, it can be pretty brutal. But yeah, I mean, but you get days off as well.
Rotations. That's one of the things that is spoken about in your book, actually, when I went through it. But what are the rotations like? Or are they non-existent?
Pretty brutal / non-existent. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 and 3 was quite common for me. And then, I mean, I don't mind. I was a young man when I was doing this, and I did 2 years and managed to buy my first flat. So like, I can't criticize it because it worked well for me. It's a lot of work, but you get a lot of money if you're working a lot, sort of thing. So it is good. But I've got 2 kids now, so I prefer. I'm working at home just now on just a fab shop. But yeah, equal rotation would be the dream. But they gave it to the supervisors. Frank knows all about that. He always got equal rotation.
Yeah, I started off on doing landlines in Australia. That's really brutal because it's part of the construction industry. And the unions, they worked it out 28 days on, 9 days off. So it worked like a month. But because Australia's big, if you work somewhere in the outback, takes just as long as you work overseas. So, but it takes a day to get home. Then you're home for literally 5 or 6 days. You go back for a month. That's a relationship killer. It's really bad for you get kids and family. And so when the offshore thing, came along, and the company I work for, they started doing offshore work, and they were like we usually like 6 weeks on and 2 weeks off, or maybe 3 weeks off. There was a difference. And now I work as a supervisor. The last 5-6 years I work actually as a client for the oil companies. I just have a clipboard and a pen and watch other people doing it. And I do mostly, if I can, equal rotation. So 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off, 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. That's a good lifestyle. It's like almost like an early retirement. I work 6 weeks, retirement for 6 weeks, work 6 weeks. And I'm a bit older than you guys, so I deserve it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. To be fair, there's a lot of safe for rotations. Like, yeah.
I think some of the Norwegian platforms, you'll know more than me, Joe. I think some of them do 2 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
It's 2 and 4, and most. Yeah, most of them I think of 2 and 4. I know there is 2 and 3. Some of the service companies do 2, 3. But I think majority of the platform workers there, so for the actual end client, I think they're pretty much 2, 4.
They're still making enough money in that time.
Oh, they make loads of money over there. They're not struggling. There's
You got a phone
coming
number?
over them, like.
Yeah, do you have a number?
There's nothing coming over them, like. Without giving too much away about your book, what do you think? There's a story that probably captures what life in the industry is like the most.
What's probably the foreword? Yeah, like the intro. That sort of, I wrote like an intro that sort of explains exactly what is about. What is about how we work. How it for most people, they look at us. Oh, you travel the world. You see all these wonderful places. We see fuck all. Like we fly to an airport in somewhere. They all look the same. Then you go to a hotel, get picked up next morning at 5 o'clock. Either get a crew boat or helicopter, and then you spend 6 weeks on a platform, or in the jungle in Madagascar. You see nothing but just a camp that's guarded by machine guns, and then you fly home. That's it.
Yeah, the forward is the best sort of intro for the book. You describe it really well. It's exactly what life is like. It's not glitz and glam. As you travel the world, people see it on Facebook and whatnot. They tag that they're in this hotel in a remote place.
Yeah.
There's a beach outside that looks beautiful. They're not sunbathing. There's a lot of the time you get breathalyzed before you go offshore. I've seen loads of people fail to breathalyze and they're like, it'll be all right. It's just said to me, right? But yeah, it's not really glitz and glam.
I was in Angola once, actually, and I got breathalyzed before going on the crew vessel, and it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen in my life. Everyone was blowing through the same shit. There was a heap of them in front of me, and I was watching them all blowing into it, and then it came to me, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. So I held it back. Then I walked it up. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty.
yeah, well, that's actually
Sounds
So
more like
those
Ebola than Angola.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll not go there. That's what quite a lot of boys will say. Actually, one of the boys he works over in the States quite a lot that I know. He said, mate, sometimes if you're in the yard, you're all right. You're lucky you get to see a bit, but in the grand scheme, you see hee-haw of the country. Do you really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
How important is humour in the field?
Well, look at us. You couldn't exist. I mean, there are some people who take it serious, like who, they go down in the basement for a laugh, they don't last very long. You can't, it's like a flower without sunlight. Yeah, you go there and it's just, if you kind of a laugh about yourself as well and others,
Yeah, you have to
it's
take a joke.
pretty tough. Yeah,
You do have to give it as well, or else you get sledged.
of course.
There's got to be a little bit of balance. You got to
There's a
take.
balance.
Yeah.
How did you guys work it out to, like, obviously you're writing stories. You would have do you write them individually and then kind of put them together and then say, like, yeah, I'm happy with that. Would you want to put that one in, kind of thing? Yeah.
Actually, we don't even check on each other. I write some, he writes some. I don't criticize his, he doesn't criticize mine, unless there's some spelling mistakes, whatever. But
We had an editor, and he really criticised them. Like, don't want to show my old English teacher from school or anything like that. It's just red pen all over.
Clearly, your first book, lads.
Yeah, pretty much. I got a really nice message from him after. He said a lot of the books he gets these days, he does a lot of studies for like university and that. He just does this for a job. He's like just a pro editor. And he said to us after, like, that was a pleasure working on it. Thanks so much. Most of the stuff I get these days is all just AI generated, and I can tell it's AI generated. What you've done is real. So I appreciate that. And I say, that's really.
and I'm glad we're in an age we can still tell a difference. Probably in 10 years' time, we won't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI could kill the creativity.
Yeah, I know it goes a long way actually, and in fairness, fair play to the two of you for doing it, because I've spoken to a few people who have wrote books, and it is time consuming, from what they say.
Yeah, it's time soon. Like, writing the stories is probably the easy bit. All the stuff that comes after. Like, I made a few prototypes and sent them all out, and nobody cares. Like, publishers, they're not really interested in everything. And like, I've done it. Now what do I do? We did it though.
Yeah. Is there any people in the book that you wrote about that you're worried about how it might be kind of received?
No, we don't care.
No. Yes.
Pretty much. There's one story about the sole loser, and anyone who's worked for All Seas will know exactly who that sole loser is.
Well, I know a lot of everyone who reads it, they know it's them, and there are even pictures of guys in there. Just live with it.
Yeah, one guy messaged me. He said, like, fair play on the book. I hope I'm not in it or anything, like anything bad. I said to him, don't worry, you'll be in the Hall of Legends. I might do that for the next book, put like a Hall of Fame, some of the big characters that we've met, get a good picture of them.
Why do you think the industry attracts so many different personalities, though?
It's international, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. It's like a culture difference between, you get like Spanish welders, English QC, maybe Scottish NDT, and you just Malaysia. There's a lot a lot of the boat crew are all Malaysian, Filipino, Indonesian. So it's just like a lot of Dutch people. It's just a big mix of everyone.
Yeah.
Probably the only job you can do as well. If you go in jail for like 10 years and you get out and you ask for a job, they're like, when can you start Monday? Yeah. What have you?
Yeah. I've come across that actually in the States. I was working with a couple of ex-convicts that were out there, and that's quite it's a totally different industry over there, in fairness. Like, there's a lot of boys that serve time or holding gangs and whatnot.
It's like pretty going offshore in the States and offshore in the UK. Like, you go through
100%.
and they're like, those airpods, you can't have them. And there's just a sign in Louisiana, the heliport I was at recently, it just says like, no guns. And there's like loads of stuff.
Every shop probably has that. Every shop, every bar has. And,
You probably
also
feel like, no, it's my right to carry.
There was actually one of the trips we went out there. I think they actually did a breathalyzer trip, because I think we were working for one of the majors at the time. The two boys failed the breathalyzer test, and they went, all right, okay, we'll just try it again in a couple of hours when the next chopper goes out.
Yeah, just we need you on the
madness, like, innit? It's mad.
But I
I
also,
enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, what I also, we talked like the different characters offshore. There's like three types of guys. This one guys are chasing the dream. They want to get rich quick, you know. Then there's guys probably like Finn and me. We have a sort of normal life, and we just want to make money and build a house and have a comfortable lifestyle. There's some guys, make a career out of it, and which is good, and we work hard for it, and the amount of qualifications we need, it's mind blowing. Then there's guys that just turn up and work, um, they're living like from the hand in the mouth. They work 4 weeks, make a ton of money, like really good money, and then they go in 2 weeks off time. They blow it all. They're buying stupid things and find one guy. I don't know if it's in the book or not. One guy, he went to Bali. He met a girlfriend and he proposed to her. Bought her, I think, $100,000 diamond ring. And in the next break, like the next whatever, it worked. It was gone, and the ring was still like. They did, it's okay. I'll start again, and then next time they went to somewhere again, and just blow it all like this, just stupid.
People
Yeah.
live fast sometimes.
And these are not young guys. I have one colleague. He's coming towards 40, or probably more, 50. He now he's back with his mum because he's got no money. He needed this job 10 years longer than me, made way lot more money than me. He's broke. I don't understand it, but it's some people just living, work, spend, work, spend, work, spend. Yeah.
So
I always feel quite joy for them. Yeah.
when you're working for like 6 weeks and you have 3 weeks off, that's half the time to get through all that money you've just made. It's like impressive sometimes.
Yeah. You got to do double
Shame.
time, do you really? Like, yeah.
Shame.
That's what I mean. I feel sorry. I always feel sorry for these because it's not like it's uncommon to come across boys in their 60s that are still struggling, that are literally living paycheck to paycheck offshore.
Divorce
and it's quite. I feel
as well.
Yeah,
And like
100%.
people, and then sometimes the woman just comes after everything, and it's just stuck working.
Yeah, it's a sad reality, unfortunately. But like I say, it's not uncommon, which I do find sad when you see them, especially when you see them they're in their 60s or 65 and they're lumping, iron and chicks and about or whatever they're doing. And it's quite
The other
sad.
side
Like,
as well. One guy's working, a proper gentleman of a guy, really nice guy, Canadian lad, and I'm sure he went home to no house. The house had gone. She'd gambled out all the way. She had a gambling problem, and then she just lost everything one trip he was away. So I remember him asking everything, "What would you do, Finn, if that happened to you?" And someone said that, "Oh, that's happened to him." So, geez, she just had a goblin though, didn't she?
He's got a problem.
now he has, exactly. Now he's got the big problem, hasn't he? One of the things is that public always see the energy industry as a technical and serious industry. Is it really that? Is it really that when you're out there?
Not the pipelines, I was saying that.
Well, for what we do, like technology-wise, and like what we do is quite scientific. If you do IoT, it's quite complex, and a lot of people that walk and look at the screen. Oh yeah, it's this and that. They have no idea what they're looking at. It is science, of course. I mean, it is we have a really high level of responsibility. If we can't, we have to make a call there and then, but we're probably used to it. Like we get, complacent with the technology working with. It's really high tech. Yeah. And, but it is,
in the NT, yeah.
Sorry, I keep, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, often the NDT cabins can get quite busy. It's often a place with tea and coffee, and there's a lot of chat going on. But if there's serious decisions to make, like if something comes in and like, okay, this isn't right, everyone's quiet. There's a bit of respect there when you're there to do a job, we do properly. And then if things are going fine, you're just taking the piss and still doing the job. But when it's going easy,
we do, we make it look easy if we, know what we're doing. We do sometimes, like we have fun and laugh. But it is really high tech, and the responsibility is quite high because we're making calls. Once a pipe's in the water, there's no coming back.
Well, if they do come back, it's millions and millions to
then
pick it up. And
then the pipe comes back, and so do you. You go home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to anyone you know?
What?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Comes back.
I've
yeah.
heard they've had to. It's not happened to me, but I've heard they've had to go and send a ship to lift up the section of the pipe and make a repair and put it back down. Because millions and millions and millions lost just from one idiot being a bit complacent.
Yeah. I heard it. They had to pull it back like 3, 4, 5 stations because somebody looked at it and said, "No, sorry, you made a wrong call." And then, of course, it doesn't look good on your CV.
Did you both work on the Nord Stream, do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's like any other pipeline.
Yeah.
I think we both worked on the first part with a Dutch company, and then Trump called it all off and said, "Look, yeah, if you work on this pipeline."
They pulled out of the project
with
at Dutch.
And then a Russian company, a Russian ship came in, and
Two
we
Russian
both,
wasn't it?
2 Russian ships came in, yeah.
One
and,
weak one money laundering.
Yeah, of course. And then I was asked.
You're laughing, but it's like really obvious when you're on that ship.
It's story
You're
for
just
another
worried the
book.
Russians are going to target your podcast. What are they saying about that?
Anyway, so yeah, so I got called. They said, "Do you mind, working on this job?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm not scared of Trump or any. He doesn't know me." So we both worked on the Russian vessel. And when I came to the airport in Hamburg, I flew, and I didn't even know the name of the vessel. They kept it secret. He said, "I'm working this ship," and this guy held up his sign. He said, "No, that's the wrong ship. I'm on that ship." He said, "No, that is the ship." But shh. It was. They gave me wrong names and wrong destinations, wrong ports, because literally the CIA was behind it to find out what's going on. So they kept it all hush hush and changed out names of vessels and ports and everything. That's how serious it was. Yeah. So it's quite funny.
The Americans didn't want the Russians to supply Germany and Europe with the gas. They wanted to sell them the gas.
Yeah.
That's
I
our,
know
not yours, I think.
the one that you worked. That's the one that got blown up, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I woke up in the morning. I said, "Fuck! I hope it was me." Like, didn't check the. Maybe I missed a crack or something.
How many stories did not go into your book, or did you put them all in?
I don't know, Frank, if you remember one of the ones that we're on that barge we were just talking about, and you heard the one about the stripper in Mexico. I don't know if it rings any bells. I left it out of the book because it's vile on like every level. I put it in the later one just because.
Because it's cool. I've never heard of it. I mean, there are some. There are some stories, if it's like on a corporate level, and they make mistakes too, But this is a book about us, about the workers, about the blokes. Also enough for legal reasons. If a big company makes a big boo boo, we're gonna write about it because it's
obviously,
of course. That's another level.
Light-hearted, bit of fun, and a bit of an insight for anyone.
Yeah. We take the piss out of ourselves, not out of big companies. It's not about them.
Out of the guy that cooked for Madonna.
Oh, of course, he did.
He did it.
Yeah. There's that line though, isn't there? I think everyone kind of knows it. It's almost incorporated into your brain early days that you're always very, very careful. To a certain limit, you definitely do not mention anything that could get you in trouble with regards to companies' names and etc. and that. Yeah,
and names are changed. Try not to mention companies and everything.
Yeah. What was the reaction like from the people that you gave out to?
Thanks, I'll read it in a bit.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
So all your reviews on the back are obviously, they're
real. That's
yeah, I thought they might be. Yeah.
I don't know if you recognise a few of the names, do you?
There was a couple of names. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you say J. Bieber, it was John Bieber. You probably thought it was Justin Bieber. He's got nothing to do with it. It was John Bieber.
You don't know John Bieber?
Nah, plug on play, but I didn't know.
Yeah, Greta T, Donald T,
and Dieter Trump. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'd love it if Greta got together and thought, this is a pro oil and gas, but we should organise a book burning.
we
and
should
everyone's
definitely
terrified
do a
it.
book. But that's what you want. You need her to be book.
Oh, that's good publicity.
Yours on the top. That's
like the
brilliant, Peter.
Green hair and a pink beard, and then try and start it. Have you read this? We need to burn it.
You've both spent quite a long time in this world. How much is the industry starting to change from when you both kind of went in? Obviously, Frank, you've been in it a bit longer than.
No, thank
How
you.
much is it changing?
What I saw mostly, like amongst us, when I started, there was no internet on board. There was no Wi-Fi on board. It was just non-existing. Yeah? There was internet. Maybe it was one computer you're allowed to have access for 5 minutes a person a day. It was like dial-up modem speed. So therefore, you spend time together playing board games. Maybe there's movie theaters on board. You play ping pong. There's even a music room, play music together, watch a movie together. No, it's no such thing. Everybody's looks in their phones, watching stuff on their phone, death scrolling all day. There's no more. It's still there, but the camaraderie sort of died out a little bit. You ask somebody, oh, let's play table tennis. Or this. Oh no, I want to do this. They're just sitting in a corner playing on their phones for hours. This sort of sad,
Yeah. There's a few people I work with when it comes to downtime, and it's just want to watch movies. And we've played a lot of poker. When you get a good crew and they're well up for playing poker or doing something together, it's brilliant. It's like being on a holiday when you get the downtime for it, obviously. But then I'm not very good at poker, so I needed a few. I was sort of.
No, I've never been in for that stuff. But I totally agree with you.
The other thing is safety, of course. There's you can watch on YouTube an old video of the first pipeline that's built in Australia in the 70s. They're all wearing singlets, ciggy in their mouth, beer in the hand, just shorts and flip-flops, basically, building a pipeline. And now, of course, which is a good thing, of course, safety is the main priority now.
I've seen that video.
Have you seen that? It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, the coating the pipe, when they do the coating station, because asbestos is a good insulator, they're standing there with a fag in their mouth, no gloves on, and they're insulating from asbestos and tar, was it not?
Yeah.
There's a guy that gets interviewed about it. It says, like, what about them? He's like, they get handsomely paid, they'll be all right. That's the safety. Just got to give them tons of money. Just wrap the pipe in asbestos.
Well, I guess, yeah, definitely. The culture that's changing a lot, though. Ultimately, is it really? And like in terms of, well, obviously safety culture's got a lot better, but the culture of having a crack and stuff like that. But how much do you think that has to do with the fact that, like, obviously it's international? Like, I'm on a vessel now, is obviously international, in terms of different kind of backgrounds, different kind of people and whatnot. How much do you think that plays a part in it?
I'm not sure, Joe. Like, I don't know if I can comment how much it's changed culturally with. No, I don't.
Well, it depending on what country you're working. Like, for example, in Norway, you gotta be, unless you have a vital role, they employ Norwegians. Come to Australia, they employ Australians first, unless it's a core crew. I just been the last year, actually, funny enough, I did a pipeline in Qatar, in Iran, like in between Qatar and Iran, the gas field. It's a Chinese vessel, and the whole crew was Chinese, and there's a few local people from Qatar, but only just basically the client itself. And I was a client rep, hired in because NDT is such a specialist thing, and I was probably the only sort of Western guy on board, and nobody spoke English. It was just an eye-opener for me. It was a fantastic job. Everyone's so polite and friendly. It was very refreshing to see. There's no egos and no, in Australia everyone's strung up and everyone thinks they're a rock star. And it's actually really good.
Did you not send me a picture from that barge you're on with a
Yes.
soup or something?
No, it's called
Sorry,
screw powder. which was actually a bowl of pasta with prawns, but they couldn't translate it, so they put it in Google Translate, and it came out. It's like there's a few funny translations, and it's actually refreshing to And the Chinese are very, very polite and very hardworking people, and it was really good.
I think to answer that question, Joe, now that I've had the time to think about it, I think a lot of the barges I've worked on have got their core crew, and so when you go back to it, it's like the same guys, so you kind of know what you're going to get, what you're up against. Sure, loads of people come and go, but I think that's one thing is it's almost just the same. It's like a home from home for some people, when they go in, it's just the same people, same shit, same pipeline. Doesn't matter what size, thickness it is, it's a pipeline. Put it in the drink.
How was the Chinese vessel, Frank?
Good, really good food.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Full screw part. The guys are, once he sort of broke the barriers a bit, and we can trust each other. Very funny people, even though they don't speak English and I don't speak Chinese, and you Google translate things in there, and with the hand, they're really, really, really funny people. Yeah. It was really good.
Was your accommodation good as well? Was it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And the technology. We worked in that Chinese barge.
Oh yes, the toilets. It's just a hole in the wall, in the floor.
Or the floor.
But the technology on board, like the firing lines, air conditioned, the welding machines, they're like 10 years ahead with technology.
Really?
I was really impressed. I like that sound, Finn.
For those listening, that's Finn cracking open a beer here.
I'm on holiday for those.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
And sorry, one night, because we were in Qatar, and it's of course a Muslim country, and there's no alcohol allowed. And one night the Chinese guy knocked them. Oh no, I told them I'm brewing beer, at home. I got my little brewery at home, and one guy, this Chinese guy, knocked on the door. Oh, Mr. Frank, present for you. He gave me a 6-pack of half-liter cans of Chinese beer. So they had a secret stash on board. Yeah, and he said, what about you? No, I don't drink beer. I only drink rice wine, which is like 16 or 20% alcohol. Beer is not strong enough for him. So it was good.
There was definitely some booze on that Russian barge we were on.
Oh, 100%. Well, they threw a bottle of champagne on the first weld, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
They had booze on board. Oh, they wouldn't work without vodka.
There was a few hangovers for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've worked with a few people before. I can't remember the guy's name, but he loved Jameson's. He always managed to have like a bottle in his drawer, so his morning coffee would always be topped up with Jameson's and gone through his day. Not that the day was hard.
No.
He just wanted it.
Just an excuse.
Yeah.
So so one of the things I've gone more into renewables now, but a lot of the companies that do renewables are ex-dredging. It's common to have alcohol on board in dredging. Like most of these vessels have all got like they'll I think they do 8-hour shifts. Is it 8 something like that? And then they have time off. They'll just they've got a bar on board and just go and have a drink straight after shift and stuff.
Never see that. No.
Yeah, it's not frowned upon or anything.
A lot of the barges I've worked on, they have a bar, but it's closed down now. There was
every vessel Dutch, they have a Heineken bar on board, like a Heineken tap and everything, but they operate it sometimes, but not during pipeline construction now.
No.
They have one of the superintendents, I think, tried to stab someone, so they banned alcohol.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But it's a shame. One guy ruined it for everyone. Some people like to have a beer. Same story.
Everywhere. It's always the same story. And one guy ruins it, and then the next thing you know, everyone gets tarnished with it.
He's like even like guy, so you're not going to kick him off.
No, that's a flipping nightmare.
Yeah.
Even like nowadays, oil and gas vessels, coming into port and stuff, there's a big no against going out and having a beer and stuff when you come on shore. And it's all because of, a couple of lads have kind of ruined it for everyone, unfortunately.
Well, I worked on one barge that was always in port, and that was drinking every night, pretty much.
Oof.
No, not drinking every night, drinking frequently. Everyone knew it though. The job got done, so there was never a problem.
I think, yeah, it's one of them, isn't it?
The problem,
as long as someone doesn't ruin it, yeah.
Problem when you're struggling.
The next day's a minute.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a second book?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I started collecting already, so I got a few stories already in my little folder.
I got a few stories, yeah. I've put them into a Word document. One of the ones I want to do is when we tried to get published, I didn't realize how like leftist it was. How I've got some quotes I can share. Do you want me to share them for
Go on then.
Oh yeah,
because we're white men, we have good jobs. That's not what they want. Even if we're first time do it. I don't know if this is that bad for your podcast. I can read the
You know, well,
you can edit it out.
no, I'll leave that one in.
Let's this is from Tramp Press. They say, we're always looking for exceptional new works of fiction and narrative non-fiction. If you're an exceptional writer, we're looking for you. If you're a person of colour, we're particularly looking for you. So I think you might need to like your tan's getting on, Frank. You might pass the bed there.
yeah.
There's a few.
Don't tell him I'm sure then.
Yeah, no, jeez.
Yeah, you're a big no, Frank. You are.
There's a few scary ones. So like I was looking at Faber and Faber. I don't know if you've heard of that big
Yeah.
publisher. Faber's Children is open to receive unsolicited dick pics, unsolicited submissions from LGBTQ plus writers and illustrators. So I think they want like gay people to start writing for kids. If I'm
Coloured gay
interpreting that
people.
correct. Coloured gay people. Is that what you say? It's just crazy. They like a lot
Is
of
that what they said? So you obviously you go to you approach these guys and say, look, we've got a book, we want it to be published, and then they kind of send you this back, basically.
No, it's like it's on the website. You can't submit unless you are gay or black or something. Like they've got like things to fill. Like there's 404 Inc. They have like a lot of them is they have their authors. Like a lot of them are poets, and they say blah 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 is a queer Latinx poet. But I don't know why they have to reduce them to being queer. They could just say as a poet, and we publish.
Yeah.
They could be proud of them. Like I just finished reading Darren Brown's book, Trick of the Mind. Thought it was a really good book. I think he's a really good performer. And imagine one of his publishers said, he's our gay writer. It's like, why would you reduce him to that? Like he's really good at his job. He's like mental.
Doesn't matter.
He's like the writer. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my findings of the world of literature just now. There's a lot of it's just weird.
Ideologic. It's all ideology, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all ideology.
They don't need to bring it in.
I know, but that's the unfortunate world we live in, and there's going down that route is, yeah. Hopefully, you'd like to think one day it'll all come to an end, but we're not going to that because
start backtracking a little bit and just go back to the way things were. And
just a bit of common sense. It doesn't matter what you are, just put it in, kind of thing. Yeah. Individually, what's the proudest moments of your career?
One time,
Sorry.
I've got a really good one. Frank. One day I did a good job, and my supervisor at the time, could be Frank, could be not, made a little sketch of me, drew a medal on my chest, and wrote "Operator of the Day," and put that on the wall. I think that might have been you, Frank. I can't remember.
Yeah, but it was only for the day.
So, it was only for the day. Yeah, the day was finished. Like it was the end of shit. I got it. So
And we didn't scan any wells that day.
someone drew a picture of me once. It's probably still on the wall.
I think
Go in the overalls. Yeah, and they drew me in the overalls, and they had my dick out, and they made it really big, and they put it on the wall. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
that's a proud moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that's still there anyway.
And you, Frank?
Well, I'm a bit more professional than think.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
It's probably when I reached my level 3 certification, which is like you have level 1 and then you have level 2, which is like an operator and technician. Then you can reach level 3. No one cares. I know. It's just important to me. Finn. And that was 10 years ago. So
I'm
I don't know. This is
like maybe.
Frank's definitely fallen into the client going with there with that answer, and that's 100% a client diplomatic answer. That one, yeah. Finn's clearly still a tech.
Yeah.
But see, I don't need somebody to draw me with a big dick to be proud.
Yeah. Do you ever hear about the coffee I made? Do you know Frank almost had a coffee business?
No.
and it was part of my job. Frank and Simon would come on shift, and I would make them fresh coffee. You know, I'm subordinate to them if they came on shift. I was doing 12-12. I think they were doing 7-7. Do you remember where I'm going with this one, Frank?
No.
And you remember
Okay.
that it was fresh coffee every morning. And one day I was like, fuck these guys getting me to make them fresh coffee every day. So I took loads of instant coffee and put it in the jug and stirred it up with hot water and then put it in the coffee machine so it looked like the fresh coffee. And obviously, Frank,
Yeah.
coffee expert, tested it. I was going, "Is that good, Frank? You know, you enjoying that?"
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it was the same. Simon doesn't admit that he was done by it, but I definitely got them both. That's the second proudest moment.
The Fike stopped his coffee business after that, did he?
Actually, funny enough, I did have a coffee business for a while. I had a coffee trailer with a proper espresso machine.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah. No,
What's your proudest moment, Joe?
mate, that's the second time someone's asked me and I still don't know. That's
Tough
why I
question,
kind of...
isn't
It is a tough question.
When you asked me, I immediately just thought about like stuff in my life, like away from work. Do work to get money to achieve things, not the other.
Yeah.
end.
I don't know. I guess you have multiple, do you? I guess like one of them probably... God, I don't even know. You put me on the spot. I'm the one asking the question, so I don't even think about what I've got to answer. I really, honestly, I don't know. I've been asked that before. I just said like getting through it. You know, I jumped around quite a bit in terms of my work, like going from different sectors and whatnot. So I guess the fact that I'm still in it.
probably having your podcast. It's a plus.
Well, yeah, obviously the podcast. Yeah, it's. I enjoy the podcast. I do enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting people like yourselves on. I think it's quite funny actually because especially when you get boys offshore boys, it's all like I've spoken to Finley once on the phone, and I've only spoken to you on text, Frank. And then as soon as you come on, it's almost that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? That immediate bond where you kind of just know straight away there's going to be three lads just speaking a load of shite here for nearly an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of sorry about that. I know a lot of your podcast. You have like a lot of people who have like been like top of their game in their industry. And
Clever.
you're talking.
Well, it's got to be a mix, isn't it? It's got to have a bit of everything there because you can't be listening to clever people all the time. Yeah.
That same guy drew my willy.
It's all about the balance.
Yeah.
It's all about the balance. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on, lads. It's okay. I'm not on shift. Get it would be my advice because the two lads that obviously done a very good job. Thanks so much for coming on.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What's the title?
It's okay. Yeah, all right. We're either one. Thanks so much for coming on, lads.
Yeah, thanks very much
Thank you.
for having us, Joe.
Thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good.